I think it's all about the flow of the money. The Saudis, the Abu Dhabians, the Dubais, the Kuwaits, the Omans, the Qatars, all of the undemocratic monarchy kingdoms are stealing much of the wealth from the region, investing it in New York and London and in Paris, not in the names of the folks back home, but in the names of the families. And that accounts for trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars that are flowing into Wall Street, enhancing the billionaire class, the super millionaire class. And it's outrageous. It's terribly costly to the American taxpayer in blood and in treasury. And we need to put a stop to it. Well, you know what? Believe it or not, there's some of us that do find ways to reach across the aisle and get some things done. I'm so proud of the fact that universities, Virginia, Vanderbilt did a study, very empirical. They just looked at bills and amendments that have been introduced and followed them to see how many have become law of the land. And yours truly ended up being the second most effective Democrat in Washington, one of the 10 most effective members of the Congress. And I remind myself and others that I had a Republican partner on every single one of those. I'm a firm believer in the moral obligation to protect and serve the men and women who are willing to step up and serve and protect us and put their lives in harm's way. So we need to do a better job. We need to do a better job. These are heroes, these are patriots, these are great Americans. They served us. We have a moral obligation to serve them. You know, I think in the absence of any kind of reforms of the electoral process, term limits would not be a bad idea. I've always imposed them on myself. But before we go to there, I would like to see some basic reforms in the campaign and election process. So we need to reverse Citizens United, get all the big corporate money out of politics. We need to have a system of small contributions supplemented by public funding for campaigns and elections. We need to end gerrymandering to the extent that private money is allowed in politics. We have to have full disclosure. And I think it's time to put some limits on campaign funding and campaign spending. I love to ice fish. We have a nice little 8x6 fish house out in front of the house, and love to be out there early in the morning and just before sunset in the evening when the walleyes are biting, and everywhere in between.